of you may need to change your names from this service. Let me explain 6 things to you about name quickly from spiritual context so you understand what a name carries before we talk about Jesus. There are 5 things I want to highlight concerning names. Number 1, names are assets in the spirit. Name in the spirit is not just nomenclature for identification. In the spirit, the weight of your name is an asset. And so when people are called in the spirit, they are not just identified. Their stature is evoked. You can call 2 Michaels in the spirit. They mean different things. Are we together? I'm saying this so that you will know the place of the name of Jesus. In Proverbs chapter 22 verse 1, the Bible said a good name is better than riches. That means in the spirit realm, names are wealth. A bundle of wealth is accredited to a name. When you call names in the spirit, they convey resources and they convey spiritual possibilities. And those possibilities are called wealth in the spirit. A good name should rather be chosen than great riches. A good name. So when we call a name in the spirit, we are invoking spiritual wealth. Number 2, because I have a long way to go and my time is short, I will not overemphasize. Names depict character. In 1 Samuel 25 verse 25, we saw the story of Abigail, who eventually became the wife of David. David sent his men while he was troubled in war, needing help from his own people and his own servants. And this man refused to send help. And so when David heard about it, David came back in anger and vengeance to punish the one that defied the king. And when he came, Abigail ran ahead of the husband and was trying to make intercession on behalf of the husband. And he said something very funny. He said, "Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial. Even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he." His name, he said, Nabal is his name, and folly is he. He's a churlish man. And so his name was a revelation of his character. And so in the spirit, when a man is named by a spirit, that name is beyond identification or nomenclature. The name spirits give men is revelatory of their characters. When a spirit calls you a Moses, it means in the spirit you have the character of a deliverer. This is why you cannot afford to pick names from the gutters. If your name is wrong, you have to go and check with the lexicon of eternity and find out what was written concerning you. Your name has to carry your character. And so when we call the name of a being in the spirit, we are invoking the character of that spirit. And you know the character of God is faithfulness. The character of God is justice and righteousness. The character of God speaks of integrity. So when you call the name of Jesus, it's beyond the religious cliche. When you invoke the name of Jesus, you are invoking the character of God that gives him credibility as the ruler of the universe. It's not something given to a religion. It's actually an investment of the character of God encapsulated in a name. Number 3, a name defines your destiny. In Genesis chapter 17 verse 5, God wanted Abraham to be the father of many nations, but as Abraham, he couldn't. And so even though the sovereign God spoke to him, you know, many times we call people fake prophets because they said things, they didn't come to pass. There are many integers. And you have to understand that if some of those integers are not put in place, no matter who spoke to you, it may not come to pass. God himself spoke to Abraham. Abraham could not become. So some of the prophets you call fake are not fake. Some of the things that stopped what was said concerning you from happening is the name that you answer. Because your name is a greater prophecy over you than any word of wisdom a man can give you. A word of wisdom can come to you once in a year, but you answer your name every morning. And your name is failure. And you meet a prophet, he says you are prosperity. And he calls you prosperity once. And every day of your life, they are calling you failure. And you are answering. You are concurring. Because every time you answer your name, you answer the prophecy of that name. And they say failure, you say yes. They say failure, you say yes. And tomorrow you come and blame prophets and pastors. You say all the things they said are lies. They prophesied over me for 10 years. Nothing has happened. Have you checked your name? Even God called Abraham father. He could not become father until God came and said, what is your name? He said, his name is Abraham. He said, no, from today you shall no longer be called Abraham, because Abraham means assumed father. Meanwhile, Abraham means father of nations. How can an assumed father become father of nations? God had to change the name for the prophecy to rest. Did you not read about Jacob? How can a supplanter become Israel? The angel wrestled with him all night. When he couldn't walk, he said, what is thy name? And he said, my name is Jacob. He said, no, you shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince, thou had power with God and has prevailed. Most of you may need to change your names from this service. I'm telling you why your life is going in zigzag. Because your name is a prophecy for your destiny. And the reason it holds sway over you is because you answer it. When they call you, you respond. And when you answer it, even God can't stop it. Because you have agreed to it. You have concurred to it. You have submitted your will to it. So as powerful as God is, he will be immobilized in matters of your destiny. So names are activators of destiny possibilities. Number 4, names convey blessings. God spoke to Abraham in Genesis 12 from verse 1 to 3. Get thee out of thy country, get thee out of thy kindred, get thee out of thy father's house. In blessings I will bless you. He said, nations of the earth shall be blessed because of thee. But Abraham could not become a blessing. Until in Genesis 17 verse 5, his name was changed. So for a man to convey blessings, his name must concur to the demands of that blessing. And number 5, names transmit authority. In Matthew 16 verse 18, Jesus said from verse 16, who do men say I, the Son of Man, I am? Peter said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. He said, flesh and blood have not revealed this to you. He now said, Simon, son of Barjona. He recognized that he was called Simon. But when he wanted to speak about prophecy, he said, thou art Peter. How do you say Simon, son of Barjona? And then you go further, you say, thou art Peter. See, when a spiritually intelligent man is functioning, pay attention. You may be reading scriptures in a hurry. What is going on there is a transaction that is deeper than time. He didn't say he will build the church on Peter. But he's saying that the man who can head the church cannot be Simon. Simon means a reed. He fluctuates. Peter is a rock. And so he said, Simon, son of Barjona, thou art Peter. Upon this revelation, I will build my church. So Barjona, son of Barjona, caught the revelation. But the one that will lead the church has to become Peter. The church is built on the revelation of Christ, but the leader of the church cannot be Simon. A man who fluctuates cannot lead the church of Jesus. You need a man who is as stable as the revelation that was caught. So Jesus renamed Simon as Peter for him to become the head of the church. There are certain levels of authority that cannot be committed to you because of the name that you answer. And you may think it's a joke. If God of heaven obeyed this principle, don't put your life to test. If you put your life to test, you will suffer a great deal. He did it in the Old Testament. He did it in the New Testament. Even Paul's name was changed from Saul to Paul. Because names carry authority. Some of you may need to call yourself kings. If you discover that your lineage, everybody is a slave. People will say you are overhyping yourself. Bro, when you are 90 years old, you will discover things in life that will make you know that when you take destiny decisions, you don't bring sentiment to the table. It doesn't matter what they think or say. If what you are doing, God approves of it, go forward. By the time God announces, elevates, and stabilizes you, you will become a blessing even to those who fought you. But if you allow sentiment subdue you, at the end of the day, both you and they will waste. You can't try that. It's not allowed. And so names are very important and powerful realities in the spirit. Now,
thanks for watching. See you in the next video.